brief because you have said every and any other thing. Premier, yesterday, as you have said, we released the crime statistics of the Republic of South Africa since the Cabinet of the Land took the decision to say these statistics will be released quarterly now, not annually. So this was the third quarter. We're not going to sit here and think as if those statistics were good. Were bad, Premier. Were bad statistics that all of us, we must make sure that we put the shoulder on the wheel and we have shown the way. While it's fully correct to say this is the national issue and national competence, constitutionally so, the contribution you have made, Premier, is a contribution that all other provinces we will request and expect that they make. Gauteng, Premier, has been always regarded as the manufacturer of criminality in the country. What you need to do, and you have put a front to say you will do, is to say this is not the place for criminals, this Gauteng. Unfortunately, most of your criminals are imported. They are not originally from this province. When we want these criminals, Premier, we go to Msinga that commit crime here. We go to Msinga, we go to Skukuniland, we go to Ngamagwe and Ofimvaba, and we find them when they've committed crime here in this province. Therefore, these highway patrollers, Premier, must sanitize these highways so that these people are not able to move from their provinces to come here to commit crime. But also, if they have managed to come here, these machines you have given us must be able to follow them and find them wherever they are. Yeah, whether they go to Msinga, whether they go to Skukunaland, whether they go to Ofimvaba, they must find them and bring them to court and make sure that they take them through processes and they are found guilty, thrown in prison, and stay there for a very long time. 3 months, Premier. You can't have 12,200 women raped. That's what has happened. 12,000 women were raped in 3 months. Now, out of that, Premier, 129 South Africans were given life sentence in 3 months. It tells you that there are efforts that are made, but the answer on these matters is a prevention, Premier, as you have said, because it doesn't help much for you to get life sentence when somebody has been raped and murdered already. So we'll have to up our game in working in terms of prevention, as you have invited the communities and all other structures to work together with us on prevention, Premier. But I can assure you, crime prevention, Premier, is across the board, is across the government. You know, I don't know that we arrest somebody who moved from Mpumalanga to kill a young, beautiful girl here at Cele, Pule. For mere 70,000 rand. It goes beyond law enforcement, Premier. It goes to deal with the mentality, with the social understanding and the social standing of the human beings, especially the young men in this country. It cannot be, Premier. It cannot be that you agree and you are giving 70,000 rands to kill a young, blooming woman, pregnant 8 months, and indeed you terminate her life with the life of the baby. But I'm glad, though it's late, that your police here, they've done the good job, but they've even done the extra job, because finally we believe that a person that is really mastermind behind the thing has been arrested, the real boyfriend on this one. Yeah. We have always suspected that is beyond the person that we arrested before. So the police have done their work. Congratulations and kudos to them. But more than that, as you have raised it, Premier, Premier, my number is like a jukebox. Yeah. Everybody phones me in this country. But more people, Mawela would know Nonjov is not here. More people here will phone me to say our police are not helping them, Premier. There are few stations, I'm not going to mention them here, but they know them now and again, where our police, they think this thing of the gender-based violence is a joke. It's not a joke. When 12,000 people are raped, that cannot be a joke. President cannot declare gender-based violence and feminism as a second pandemic if it is a joke. So it's correct, Premier. You are correct that we need to up our games. Besides training, we need a reorientation. We need to say to us, police will have to do their best to make sure that women are safe. We must be able, Premier, to create an environment for women and young women and elderly to be able to walk alone in the middle of the night from wherever they come to wherever they go without the fear of being attacked. And usually those attackers are men. Those attackers are men. Bamila nje. Ama-vultures, ama-vultures. We'll have to work hard on that. Therefore, from the side of the South African Police, Premier, we're developing the program of this reorientation in terms of the GBV. We're developing the program of having dedicated members of the South African Police. Because the problem, when somebody gets raped and goes to the police station, you find anybody that does not understand the seriousness of that matter. But if we train them and we keep them dedicated to this unit to look after those people, we will know that, one, they are developing experience, empathy and sympathy, but also we know that if somebody is treated bad at Honeydew police station, we will know who was there in that particular time and particular space, so that we act. So provincial commissioners, helped by the MECs, National Commissioner and the Minister, I think we need to be harsh and hard to the members of the South African Police that don't take gender-based violence seriously. Those people don't belong to this organization. They'll have to get out of this organization. If it needs be, convert their blue uniform to orange. Yes. Themselves. Yes. So if you are going to join this organization, you must understand that one of the basic things you need to know is the protection of children and women. It doesn't matter what you do, Premier. If those people are not safe, this country cannot claim to be safe. So that's a call we're making. This cash heist, Premier, I don't know why so much here. Maybe it's because you have a lot of money in the province. But he knows we are not going to talk too much. But he knows that we have said we are not going to be outmatched by criminals, Premier. Maybe let me start here. They've done excellently well to crack down on these guys last 3-4 weeks in Gauteng, especially even before those guys could commit this. They found them in their houses. They found them planning. They've arrested quite several of them, Premier. But as I've said, that people, they think your province is an area of manufacturing the crime. At George, Premier, we find stacks and stacks of mandraks. What is happening? This province, Premier, and few of them that are far from the sea are used as producers of drugs for Western Cape. The weather there is not very favorable to produce mandraks. So they come here, they buy so-called farms. They come here and buy so-called small holdings, and they convert those to factories to produce these drugs. So it's important that this equipment you give us, we are able to prevent it, to track, and make sure that we pounce on these people. Mawela, direct to you. Hayi madoda, ayiphelele amakheshasi madoda. Awaphelele amakheshasi madoda. Hayi madoda, angeke. Hayi madoda, angeke. And you know this, Premier, criminals have revitalized something called Transvaal. We don't have Gauteng no Makashas. We don't have Mpumalanga. We don't have Limpopo. We have Transvaal. That's how they operate. But because this is an operational matter, I'll leave it there. I'll sit down. You can't be briefed. I'll sit down with your guys to say what you're supposed to do. This equipment, Premier, will have to saturate the highways. Wherever you go, you must see the vehicle of the police. And I want to make this call, and I don't know why this call can't be heeded. Make the province blue at night. All lights must be on, because criminals hate and they're very scared of the blue color. Make all these cars have got blue lights and all. Any driving car that is on the road, put the blue light to say we are here, and saturate every place, saturate every highway, saturate every exit and entrance. As you come off this Sentin here, there was always a car there, Premier. So if you steal the car or hijack the car, Sentin, you don't know where to go, because we are permanent on these roads. And you have put the equipment to track these cars. Car hijacking, yes, car stealing, Premier, has gone down. But car hijacking, which is more painful, because they grab you from the car and they put the gun on your ear. Those are fear crimes. They must come to an end. You must respond when people call, Mawel, that this house is being robbed. Don't tell us, especially at least at this province, don't tell us that there are no vehicles. What is all this, country? Huh? What is all this? Nobody in Gauteng must tell us, Uti, there is no vehicle to respond. Otherwise, these are cars for you to respond and make Gauteng people safe and feel good, and make criminals pack at least and leave Gauteng. Thanks very much, Premier. Thanks very much, Jovijo. I don't want to put other premiers under pressure, but Babona Dabeko. Babona Dabeko Nuguti is not just Ukulmagakulu. When Zagakulu, Ukulmega 9. The last point I would like to make, I'm very happy, Premier, the way all law enforcement are working here in Gauteng. You have become very much exemplary. I think it's a good skill, Skamawel. I'm worried, you praise him too much. I'm really worried. that you might take him out of his way. Usually when you sing praise abantu, they lost the way. Don't lose your feet. Just don't do it. I fully agree with Premier. You work extra hard and what your colleagues must do. But other provinces must just do that. They must stop talking and really work together. This crime needs all of us to be here and make sure that we protect and prevent the happening. So I'm glad the chiefs of metros are here. All these, Premier, including the Gauteng traffic, are multipliers, are force multipliers of crime prevention, not just to look after tickets, not just to write tickets, but whatever form of crime, they must be part of its prevention. So you have a good 3 metros here, you've got these forces you have put on the road. So really, we have no business of the growing crime here. And thanks to the partners, as I've seen people from Tracker, I've seen Yusuf here, and all of us, let's work together on that. The very last point, Premier, a person who commits the crime in Gauteng, whatever kind of crime, must be hunted down and found. There should be no criminal that believes and knows that he will commit crime and goes scot-free. Crime should not pay. And this is equipment that you have put. You are bringing us more. Thanks very much about the 11 that you have put there for the FCS. I hope people will be able to respond. They'll be able to help people there in the shortest possible time so that we are able to prevent and make sure that people are protected, especially, Premier, women, children, elderly, and vulnerable. Make Gauteng a really golden place for the people of South Africa, and make Gauteng a real hell for criminals. You must squeeze the oxygen out of criminals. Don't misinterpret me there. But there must be no oxygen for criminals. But don't misinterpret me. But don't allow criminals to waste oxygen as you do your work. And make sure that oxygen belongs to the good citizens, not to criminals. Jovicho.
Hola, Minister.
Asambeni manje.
Siyabangena.
Asambeni siyobangena. Everywhere. Le thembisa yakhombo iclean, hambo isanitizer le thembisa iyahlupha iphezulu njalo. Ile Honeydew yakhe iyahlupha iphezulu. Ile Johannesburg Central yakhe iyahlupha. Ile mahostel yakhe ayahlupha. Aphezulu. You go and sanitize that. All Premier is giving you ama-sanitizer. Lezi moto ama-sanitizer. You go and sanitize crime here to the level of 0. Thank you very much, Premier. Let's go and work and make sure that people of this province are the safest. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Hola, Jovito, Minister, Jovito. Asisa ma-flight lapho. Hey, mama skenza ningawazi ushaya ama-flight. Thank you very much, Minister, for encouraging the law enforcement officers, all of them here in Gauteng, to squeeze the oxygen out of some people.